NFL fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day Sports Show. We got our Tuesday prediction video for you guys today. Listen, we are absolutely crushing our picks, dominating 48-12 over the last 4 weeks. That's 80%. We're crushing it, guys. Our bets continue to make money. I put out a bet alert for you guys yesterday for the Cade Otton and Baker Mayfield over the props. Cade Otton over 54.5 yards, Baker Mayfield over 22.5 completions. Both of them cash for us. Just another reason why you have to subscribe to the channel. For the season, we're 101-50, approaching 70% correct on the season. I'll put my picks up against any YouTuber and professional in the sports industry, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get into our Week 10 predictions for you guys today. All right, NFL fans, Week 10, here we go. There's a lot to talk about today. The trade deadline is today. A lot of moving parts. We crushed our picks last week. 13-2 from last Tuesday's prediction video, guys. We're crushing it. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into this first game. First up, in the Week 10 slate, we have the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road to take on the Ravens. A very, very tough division game. As we can see, a 6-point spread right now for the Ravens. The Ravens offense is pretty much in first place in every single offensive category. They're second in passing yards, first in rushing yards, first in total offense. This team has been great offensively, minus the Cleveland Browns game. I still can't get over that loss to the Browns. But the Bengals defense has looked better over the past few weeks. They were a dumpster fire the first half of the season that we've played so far, right? The first 4 or so games, they were pretty terrible. Now they're pretty much just like a middle of the road defense, right? Is T. Higgins going to be back for this game? They really, really need him to suit up. They want a chance at beating the Ravens, right? Can the Bengals stop the run? They haven't been super great at stopping the run so far this year. I don't think they get great all of a sudden. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens to win this game at home. The addition of Deontay Johnson with Zay Flowers, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson is great. It's going to probably be like a shootout type of game. So I'm going to give you the score of 27-24 for the Baltimore Ravens to get it done this week. I like the Ravens in this spot. Next up, we got the Giants and the Panthers in Germany, right? No home field advantage for either of these guys. They're playing nice and early here on the West Coast, 6:30 a.m. start for me living in LA. All right, the Giants lead the NFL in sacks. Dexter Lawrence has been incredible this year getting to the quarterback. And listen, Carolina offensively is just not a very good team at all whatsoever. They just traded Jonathan Mingo to the Cowboys, so the offense another tick down. Is Jonathan Brooks finally going to play for the Panthers and suit up? We'll have to see. But the way the Giants match up versus the Panthers, I really like the Giants in this spot. I expect them to sack Bryce Young at least 3 times, maybe 4 or even 5 times. And that pressure is going to cause some turnovers. I'm saying Bryce Young, at least 2 interceptions in this game. And I think the Giants win pretty handily. If you look at all the Giants' losses, right, they're 2-7. I think it's 5 of them are less than 10 points, right? So they've been losing pretty close games this year. They could easily have 4 or 5 wins. But didn't fall that way for the Giants. They're 2-7 right now, and I look for them to get a W here and win this game, I think, pretty handily. I'm saying 24-13. The Giants get a W. The defense has a big day. This D-line eats, I'm thinking, at least probably 4 or 5 sacks. I like the Giants in this spot. All right, next up, guys, we got the Buffalo Bills on the road versus the Colts. If you look at like PFF grades for the Colts, I mean, offensively, defensively, they're all grading out pretty good. But not great, right? The way you beat the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, is to run the ball down their throat. And Jonathan Taylor could very well do this, right? It's going to be a close game. I think Vegas kind of agrees with a 4-point spread. The Buffalo Bills do have some injuries we want to talk about, guys. Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman are both questionable for this game. Keon Coleman has to get an MRI. I think it's a wrist injury, and we'll have to see if Amari Cooper, who missed last week, we saw the offense not be as effective without Amari Cooper, right? So I think that's a big addition to this team. He needs to get healthy. Keon Coleman needs to be healthy. We need to keep our eyes on these injuries, right? But I just trust Josh Allen more than I trust Joe Flacco right now. I think the Bills' defense can probably get to Joe Flacco, even though I think Jonathan Taylor gets like 20, 24 carries in this spot. That's what I would do if I was Shane Steichen. Use play action off of that to move the ball down the field. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to win this game in a close spot, 24-20. We'll have to keep an eye on those injuries, though, because if no Keon Coleman, no Amari Cooper, we'll have to see. Maybe I switch it up. I doubt it, because the Bills with James Cook will still be able to run the ball effectively against this Colts front seven, in my opinion. So, yeah, 24-20, Buffalo Bills get the W. One last thing I want to add about the Buffalo Bills. They lead the NFL in turnover differential, right? 15 takeaways, right, to only 4 giveaways. That's plus 11. Another reason why I like the Bills in this spot. Let's move on to the next game. It's one of my favorite games of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers on the road taking on the Commanders. The Commanders as 2.5-point favorites is a little wild to me. I like what the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing. They added Mike Williams in a trade. That's a great matchup for Russell Wilson, right? Because he throws that deep ball really well, and we all know Mike Williams can really go up and get it with those deep balls. Mike Williams and Pickens could be a great 1-2 punch for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? I really, really, really like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this spot. They have one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. They're top 5 against the run. They're top 10 against the pass. Overall, they're a top 5 defense, in my opinion, right? They don't give up a lot of points, and they got 2 great pass rushers, and Watt and Highsmith. I think they're going to put some pressure on Jaden Daniels and force some turnovers. This is far and away the best defense Jaden Daniels has faced so far. Mike Tomlin coaching against a rookie quarterback. Even though Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury have some experience, right? They're not new coaches per se. New to this team, but not new to the NFL. Dan Quinn has been overachieving with a mediocre defense. And Cliff Kingsbury has this offense singing right now, man. Terry McLaurin is an absolute dog. Zach Ertz, has had a little bit of a resurgence in his career. The running backs, Eckler and Robinson, are great as well. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a fun game. I think it's going to be a little bit more towards the low-scoring side. I'm going Pittsburgh Steelers, 20-17 over the Commanders. I think they sacked Jaden Daniels at least 3 times, and it forced 1, if not 2, turnovers in this spot. I like Mike Tomlin, Russell Wilson, George Pickens to get a big win here on the road. Next up, a division game that at the beginning of the year you would have circled on your calendar as a potential great game. But the Saints just fired their head coach, Dennis Allen. Chris Olave got murdered on a ball. He's done for the foreseeable future because Derek Carr left him hanging out to dry with that pass. I told you guys multiple times, if you follow me and my content, I don't like Derek Carr. I don't think he's a good quarterback. He's like the only quarterback in NFL history that's lost to 31 different teams. The dude just finds ways to lose football games. Him and his brother just lose a ton of games. I don't know. I don't want him as my quarterback. A guy I do like is Kirk Cousins, man. He's got this offense humming right now. I love the Falcons as a bet, minus 185. I even like the spread. If you could like buy a point and get it down to 3 points for like minus 120, I like that bet for sure. I love the Falcons in this spot. The offensive line is playing pretty good. The defense is playing good enough, right? Good enough. And Kirk Cousins is really spreading the ball out well. I love the weapons there. Drake London is questionable, however. We've got to keep our eye on that for sure. But with Mooney, Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, I just think this offense is going to be too much. The Saints aren't scoring 20, 24 points. I like the Falcons to win this game, similar fashion to what they beat the Cowboys last week. I'm going 27-17. The Falcons win this game pretty handily, and the Saints score some points in garbage time that make it a little bit closer than the game actually was. I think Kyle Pitts has a big game in this spot. Kirk Cousins and Mooney have had a really good connection. The Saints are banged up everywhere on defense, offensive line. I mean, it's just bad. Do I have any notes on the Saints? Yeah, just Olave right now, guys. Atlanta, Grady Jarrett and Drake London are both questionable. Something to keep our eye on. I don't think it really matters. 27-17. The Atlanta Falcons get a road win. I like a lot of road teams this week, guys. We'll see if that turns out to bite me in the ass, but we'll see what happens. Next up, Minnesota Vikings, Jacksonville Jaguars. I actually like a parlay with the Falcons and the Vikings on the road. The Vikings look pretty good. Sam Darnold and company. TJ Hawkinson's back. The offense is pretty awesome, man. Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Addison. I mean, the offense is humming. Sam Darnold looks pretty good as well. And the Jaguars, Christian Kirk is done for the foreseeable future with that collarbone break. The D-line actually did a pretty good job getting to Jalen Hurts last week, and they made a nice comeback towards the end of the game and made it a game because Nick Sirianni is a dipshit and let the Jaguars come back into the game. Trevor Lawrence does Trevor Lawrence things again, throwing that interception in the end zone to potentially go ahead and win that game. I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence guy. I like Sam Darnold and his weapons more. I like the Minnesota Vikings to win this game 23-13. I love the Vikings in this spot on the road. Next up, we got the New England Patriots, Chicago Bears, right? Let's check out my Chicago Bears notes. They got 4 defensive starters that are questionable right now for the Bears. The defense is kind of the lifeblood of that team because Eberflus and Shane Waldron can't get anything out of this offense at all whatsoever. I don't know what the hell's going on because the offensive line hasn't been playing bad, minus I think the right tackle position. But the Bears' O-line has been pretty good. They're not running the ball effectively with DeAndre Swift, and Caleb Williams has just been bad. Low completion rate. I mean, with those weapons like Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, they should be doing a lot better offensively. I think it's a scheme thing. I don't like the Bears at all, but the Patriots are not very good. But Drake May had that unbelievable play at the end of the fourth quarter to tie it up. One of the best plays of the year. Running around, scrambling, throwing a TD pass. Ties the game up. Then throws a big pick in overtime. The Patriots lose. But I like Drake May. The offensive line there sucks. Their weapons suck. Defense is okay at best. I like the Bears to get right at home. Tough loss for the Patriots last week. A tough, gritty game versus the Titans. Now they got to go on the road to take on the Bears. Chicago's never easy to play in. I like the Bears in this spot. It's going to be a close game, kind of a dumpster fiery game. I'm going 21-13. The Bears get the W. Here's a very interesting game, guys. Denver Broncos, who got the brakes blown off of them last week by the Ravens, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Buccaneers played them pretty tough, though. Patrick Mahomes got banged up a bunch of times in that game. It was kind of crappy weather. They played well. But until someone can beat the Chiefs, I can't bet against them. I'm going with the Chiefs here, guys. I'm going with the Chiefs to get a W. Oh, it's going to be close, though. I think this game is going to be very close. I think the Broncos cover the spread. I'm saying 26-23. A lot of field goals in this game. The Chiefs win. But DeAndre Hopkins has been a revelation for Patrick Mahomes. In the red zone, on third down, DeAndre Hopkins has been a huge addition to this team. Quite remarkable. Courtland Sutton, I don't know is he going to cover DeAndre Hopkins? Does he cover a guy like Xavier Worthy and shut down the deep ball? I don't know where they pick their poison at. The Denver Broncos defense has been great this year, guys. Has been really, really good. I don't have any injury notes on either of those teams, so they're both looking pretty healthy going into this spot. I don't think the Broncos have enough offensive power to beat the Chiefs. Steve Spagnuolo is a great defensive mind. I like the Chiefs in this spot, 26-20. All right, another interesting game, right? San Francisco 49ers are coming off a bye. Also, one quick note, Pittsburgh's coming off a bye too, another reason why I like them versus the Commanders. 49ers are coming off a bye. We'll have to see who's playing, who's not. Is Juwan Jennings going to come back? Is Deebo Samuel going to come back? Is Christian McCaffrey going to come back? Are they finally going to get Christian McCaffrey back? That's the question of the week. We'll see. I think it's now or never, right? They got to win this game. They can't lose again. The Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield putting the Buccaneers on his back, played really well. Cade Otton had a big game. I don't know, man. Bucky Irving and Rashad White just probably aren't enough to get it done versus San Francisco, but they are playing at home. Oh, man, I've been going back and forth on this game, right? I think if Christian McCaffrey does not play, the Buccaneers win. But if Christian McCaffrey comes back, I'm going with the 49ers. As of right now, I can't put any stock in Christian McCaffrey going to play. I'm going with the Buccaneers to win this game at home. The Buccaneers almost beat the Chiefs this week, man. A couple dumb plays and bad weather. But Baker Mayfield, he's a dog right now, man. And I like him better than anyone else is playing on the 49ers, right? The 49ers defense has been underachieving. Guys not named Bosa and Warner have been pretty awful, man. The defense has been bad. I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in an upset in a close game. 23-20. Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield get a big W. The Buccaneers need to win this game. If they want to have even a chance of making the playoffs, they cannot lose this game. Because it looks like the Falcons are going to run away with the division, the NFC South, right? So the Buccaneers' backs are against the wall. It's a win or probably not go to the playoffs because between the teams in the NFC East with the Eagles and the Commanders, one of them probably gets a wild card. And we might have two wild cards like the Packers, Vikings, whoever wins that division, Lions, Packers, Vikings. I mean, two of them probably go to the playoffs. So Tampa Bay's got to win this game. That's why they win this game in a close game. I like the Buccaneers in this spot. What did I say? 23-20, something like that. I like that for the Buccaneers. Here comes a weird game. The Titans are going to get blown out. I like the Chargers. The Chargers' defense is going to be great. I don't have a lot to say about this game, to be honest. The Chargers are going to want to run the ball. Lat McConkey has a big game. The Titans don't score a lot of points. I'm going 24-10. Chargers dominate this game on all aspects, from whistle to whistle. The Titans just aren't very good, man. They're just not very good. They run the ball pretty good with Pollard, but the Chargers are pretty good against the run. I don't have any. I do have some. This is a big note on the Tennessee Titans. They lost their center, Cushenberry. That's going to affect the running game. And then Quandre Diggs, their safety, done for the year. I think the Chargers win this game and cover 24-10. I'm going with 24-10 Chargers over the Titans. Then we got my Philadelphia Eagles on quite a little winning streak. Dallas Cowboys made a trade. They added Jonathan Mingo, former second-round pick in 2023 from the Panthers. I think they traded a fourth-round pick to get him. Gives their offense a little bit of juice, but Dak Prescott's on the sideline saying, man, we fucking suck. Not a lot of confidence there. It looks like Micah Parsons is going to come back to play right now, but Dak Prescott is out of this game with the hamstring. Zach Martin's questionable. CeeDee Lamb is questionable. The Eagles dominate. I think they blow them out 30-17. Philadelphia Eagles defense has been playing really good. They're actually moving towards being a top 10 unit. Vic Fangio is figuring out his personnel and playing pretty good. They've played a bunch of dumpster fire offenses. Jaguars, Bengals, Browns, Giants. Not murderer's row, right? So we'll see what happens. But the Cowboys can't run the ball. They can't stop the run. Saquon Barkley goes for over 20 carries, 2 touchdowns, and 125 yards at least. He had some back stiffness they're dealing with. We'll have to see if the Eagles get Darius Slay back in this spot. I think they do. A.J. Brown is day-to-day with his injury. He had to get removed from that Jaguars game. We'll have to see if he suits up in this game, but I don't think it even matters. 30-17, Birds get it done. Jets, Cardinals. Vegas agrees with me. This is probably the most competitive game of the week. Both teams need to win this game, man. The Jets have 4 defenders that are questionable. Not great for them. I think this could be a potential shootout game. I like the Arizona Cardinals 28-27. A lot of me was thinking the Jets, but they're going on the road. They won last week, and Aaron Rodgers is all chipper on the interviews. I just don't get it. I think he's a cancer. I like Jonathan Gannon to get that defense in a right spot to stop this Jets offense. They traded away Mike Williams. Not like it really mattered. Lazard was out of the game last week. We'll have to see if he plays. But I like the way the Cardinals are playing right now. One of my favorite offenses in the NFL. James Conner, I think, has a big day because the Jets are very susceptible to the run, right? So I think they run the ball, James Conner, play action to Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride over the middle of the field. I like 28-27. I'm going with the Cardinals, guys. All right, Detroit Lions, Houston Texans. I think the Lions don't only win, they blow them out. 31-13. The Lions blow out the Texans. Yeah, the Texans are better at home, but we'll have to see if Nico Collins comes back. If he's back, the score will probably be a little bit closer, but the offensive line has not been good at all. They have a huge problem with pass protection. CJ Stroud needs more time. The Lions made a huge trade for Zadarius Smith, who's going to bring some serious juice to that defensive line. I think CJ Stroud gets sacked at least 3 times. And the Houston Texans secondary is not great at all whatsoever, in my opinion. And I don't have any notes. I'm looking at my notes for injuries. I love the Lions in this spot by blowout. 31-17. The Detroit Lions spanked the Texans. That AFC South might be the worst division in football. All right, let's move on to the last game of Week 10, guys. If you're still with me, thank you so much for sticking around, hanging out, chopping it up about ball. Leave me some comments in the section down below. What games do you think I nailed it on? What games do you think I got wrong? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Miami Dolphins at the Rams. This might be my favorite bet of the week. Rams at home, -135. Sign me up. Sign me up for that. Puka Nacua, please don't punch anyone else in the face. I had some bets on the Rams last week, and I was sweating them. After Puka Nacua got ejected, I was like, no! But they ended up winning. Matt Stafford's a dog, an absolute dog. I think they win pretty handedly. 34-20. Rams get it done in LA. Let's go, Rams. Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. Dominate. I like the Rams, guys. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. We appreciate you guys so much. We're closing in on 11,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys. And if you're interested in sports betting, make sure you check out my memberships. Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you on the next video. Peace.